Hey folks, it's Spitz with Pixels and Pills at the Digital Pharma East Conference in Philadelphia 2012. It's my pleasure to have Lionel Carrasco, CEO of LeapFactor, an innovative iPad app shop that basically provides point-of-care tools between reps and physicians with some interesting functionality.
Thanks for the invitation.
So in terms of the apps that you provide, sales reps right now have basically a van full of collateral that they normally would take. The old school model, which would be they have hard copy brochures, leaflets, pamphlets, might have video that they want to share with physicians, and LeapFactor basically provides a point of care tool from their iPad so that they can deliver this collateral in a timely and effective way. Is that right?
You describe it just the way it is. You don't have to go anymore with a big bag sitting outside waiting for the attention of the doctor. So basically, besides your lunch, everything is in the app. Now, the app is the container that the brand will control to be able to send the content you need to engage with the doctor. And I think that's the key, the ability to engage with the right materials so you become relevant in your conversations. By deploying these kind of tools, we have been able to double the time with doctors or increase the prescription intentions by 30 to 40%, because in the end, the doctor will like to spend more time to you and understand better because you're using these engagement tools. And in addition to that, the branding gets visibility of what the sales reps are actually doing with the content and with their time. So it's not anymore like they will go and enter information in CRM systems. The application automatically generates all this intelligence in real time and feeds the brand so the brand can readapt the content and find out the best practices of what the sales reps are doing. So it's been really interesting deployments in the province.
Yeah, metrics and analytics are sometimes challenging for mobile apps. You know, desktop applications, websites are fairly standard. You've got Google Analytics, Omniture, and a bunch of proprietary programs. What do you use to measure the engagement at the point of care between the sales rep and the physician? It is part of your tool?
This is a very good question because people tend to believe that the mobile apps are like the web, and they are not. Right. Because there is no click-through analytics. And more important, besides measuring every click, there is no established standards like bounce rates. In a mobile app, you are offline most of the time, and you flip through, you're pinching, you have gestures that doesn't represent clicks. Right. And at the end, even if we can collect all that information in real time, what's the meaning of that? So I may interview you as a doctor, I'm having a conversation, and then my iPad goes to sleep after 30 seconds. So how you measure that is part of the conversation, it is not. So we developed not only the technology to collect the data offline and online, but actually the way to interpret and say what's the level of engagement, what's the most popular documents, what's the adoption curves, at what time of the day the reps are using it, at what locations, and we generate all these standard reports that gives you visibility to what's going on. In addition to that, you can take the raw data and mix it with other data sources and run a true business intelligence tool and be able to analyze patterns and so on. But it's, as you pointed out, this is not just about measuring, it's about making sense out of the data, right?
Absolutely. And once you make sense out of the data, I'm assuming you correlate some of that data maybe with the deciles of the sales rep to see the more successful salespeople, how they're using the app in relationship to maybe the less successful ones.
That's the key. So once you extend the time with doctors and you increase certain KPIs, the next thing is to find out what are the 10 people that are doing better than the others, the most successful people, right, and what are their best practices. Because if you can affect the standard deviation between the low performance and the high performance, then you can affect the bottom line. So beyond the app, because anybody can build an app these days. It's not that complex. That's why Apple created almost 1 million apps, right? But be able to create an app that generates all this information and delivers the content and tracks this appropriate, it's a very different thing.
We've come a long way in sales rep delivered applications. Back in the day, it was usually an older school tablet, sometimes a web-based application. The iPad has revolutionized point of care for mobile health in general. What kind of trends are you seeing based on what your clients are engaging with and based on your own technology and tools that point to the future of rep-delivered sales experiences within the pharma space?
A couple of thoughts there. First of all, in this industry, 70% of the doctors already have an iPad. And out of those, most of them have an iPhone as well. So this is not a world where you have to define, like, should I go RIM, should I go Android? It's iOS. It's dominated by iOS in both formats. Android is going to be relevant. RIM is declining dramatically. Maybe Windows will have a play. But now that we recognize that 70% of my audience has an iPad or an iOS device, it's clear what tool you need to use. Now, that's the tool. The question is, what's the content? So what are the trends we see is that the agencies who creates all these marketing materials is creating interactive content that is HTML5 driven, that goes within these containers, because the end user, the doctor, plays with Angry Birds, and his expectation of the apps is to be like Angry Birds. So if your app is web-based, and you have to wait 3 seconds, 5 seconds to get to the next page, your conversation with the doctor is over. Their patience is very limited. They want to see things in real time. And to be able to do that, you have to do, the container needs to exist, and you need to be able to provide offline capability by nature.
Right.
So 2 important trends, offline and interactive HTML as a way to deliver the content. This is what we're seeing everywhere as the trend that makes a lot of sense.
Thanks so much, folks. Lionel Carrasco talking about the present and future of mobile applications for physician rep-delivered content. Thanks so much, Lionel. Spitz from Digital Pharma East signing out. Thank you.